This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org at www.librivox.org. Recording by Mary, aka Breadchick, www.breadchick.com. How to Cook Fish by Olive Green. Section 35. 55 Ways to Cook Soles. Note: if the imported sole is not readily obtainable, flounder or pompano make a very acceptable substitute. Boiled soles. Trim the soles, rub with lemon juice, and boil in salted water. Drain and serve with any preferred sauce. Broiled sole. Recipe 1. Marinate for an hour in oil and lemon juice seasoned with salt and pepper. Broil on a double broiler and serve with maître d'hôtel sauce. Broiled sole Recipe 2. Clean and skin a sole, dip in melted butter and lemon juice, then in seasoned crumbs, and broil. Remove the bone from an anchovy and rub it to a paste with a small lump of butter. Add a wineglassful of white wine and the juice of half a lemon and keep the sauce warm. Place the sole on a hot dish, pour the sauce over, and serve. Baked fillets of sole Recipe 1. Butter a baking pan, sprinkle with chopped onions and parsley, lay fillets of sole upon it, spread with butter, season with salt and pepper, add a wineglassful of white wine, and bake in the oven, basting frequently. Take up the fish carefully, add to the liquid a dozen chopped mushrooms, a tablespoonful of fresh breadcrumbs, and minced parsley to season. Lay the fillets on a baking dish, spread with the paste, cover with large fresh mushrooms, sprinkle with crumbs, dot with butter, and brown in the oven. Serve very hot in the same dish. Baked fillets of sole Recipe 2. Put the prepared fillets in a buttered baking dish, sprinkling with chopped onion, parsley, and mushrooms, and seasoning with salt and pepper. Add a tablespoonful of butter and enough white wine and white stock in equal parts to keep from burning. Bake, basting frequently. Cook together 1 tablespoonful each of butter and flour. Add a cupful of brown stock and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Take up the fish, drain the liquor from the pan into the sauce, and reheat. Spread the sauce over the fish, sprinkle with crumbs, dot with butter, and brown in the oven. Fillets of sole baked in white wine. Butter a baking dish and put into it 6 fillets of sole. Add half a cupful of hot water and a tablespoonful of lemon juice. Cook together 1 tablespoonful each of butter and flour, seasoning with minced parsley, grated onion, salt, cayenne, and powdered mace. Add 1 cupful of white wine and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Drain the fish, pour the sauce over, and serve. Baked sole with wine sauce. Clean a large sole, trimming off the gills and dark skin and scraping the white side. Make a deep cut on each side of the backbone and take off the fins. Put into a buttered baking pan with salt and pepper to season and 2 cupfuls of white wine. Bake for 20 minutes. Cook together 1 tablespoonful of butter and 2 of flour. Add a cupful of cold water and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Strain the liquor from the fish into the sauce, bring to a boil, add 1 tablespoonful each of butter and minced parsley. Pour over the fish and serve. Fried sole Recipe 1. Remove the skin, dip in beaten egg, then in crumbs, and fry in deep fat. Serve with any preferred sauce. Fried sole Recipe 2. Skin and clean a pair of soles and marinate for an hour in oil and lemon juice. Dip in egg and crumbs and fry in deep fat. Cool, trim, dip into melted butter, then into the beaten yolk of eggs, and then into seasoned crumbs. Sprinkle with grated Parmesan cheese and broil slowly, basting with melted butter if needed. Serve with maître d'hôtel sauce. Fried fillets of sole Recipe 1. Marinate a sole for an hour in white wine, seasoned with salt, pepper, and sweet herbs. Drain, cut into fillets, dip in milk, dredge with flour, and fry in hot lard. Fried fillets of sole Recipe 2. Sprinkle the prepared fillets with salt, pepper, and lemon juice. Dip in egg and crumbs. Repeat. Fry in fat to cover and serve with tartar sauce. Fried fillets of sole à la Orly. Soak the prepared fillets for an hour in lemon juice seasoned with grated onion, minced parsley, salt, and pepper. Drain, dry, dredge with flour or dip in batter. Fry in deep fat and serve with tomato sauce. Fried sole à l'anglaise. Dredge the prepared fish with flour, brush with the beaten yolk of an egg, cover with crumbs, and fry in deep fat. Fried sole à la Colbert Recipe 1. Cut the fish into fillets, dip in milk, then in flour, and fry brown. Serve with melted butter and garnish with lemon and parsley. Fried sole à la Colbert Recipe 2. Select 6 small soles, cut off their heads, and make an incision down the backbone. Season with salt, pepper, and lemon juice. Dip in egg crumbs, fry in hot fat, drain, and serve with Colbert sauce. Fried soles with shrimp sauce. Fillet the fish, dip in flour, then into egg and crumbs, fry in deep fat, and serve with shrimp sauce. Sole à l'Aurore. Butter a shallow platter, lay a sole upon it, cover with buttered paper, and put into the oven for 10 minutes. Take it out and remove the backbone, filling in its place with chopped onions and parsley. Replace the upper side of the fish. Cover with a cupful of cream sauce and put in the oven for 10 or 15 minutes. Rub the yolks of hard-boiled eggs through a sieve over the fish and garnish with the whites in rings, sliced lemon, and parsley. Fillets of sole à la Bercy. Cook some fillets of sole in butter, seasoning with salt, pepper, and minced onion. Take up the fish, add 2 tablespoonfuls of butter and a teaspoonful of minced parsley and the juice of a lemon. Pour over the fish and serve. Fillets of sole à la Bordeaux. Season the prepared fillets with salt and pepper. Dip in melted butter, then into flour, then into beaten eggs, then into breadcrumbs. Fry brown in deep fat, garnish with lemon and parsley, and serve with tomato sauce. Soles à la Colbert. Skin and trim the soles and boil in salted water until done. Chop fine a head of endive and fry it in butter. Add 2 cupfuls of stock. Bring to boil, take from the fire, and add the yolk of an egg beaten smooth with a little cream. Place the soles on a hot dish, pour over the sauce, and serve. Fillets of sole à la crème. Simmer the prepared fillets in salted and acidulated water to cover, seasoning with salt and pepper, sliced onion, cloves, and parsley. Cook together a tablespoonful each of butter and flour and add 1 cupful of cream and half a cupful of stock. Cook until thick, stirring constantly. Take from the fire, season with salt and pepper, and add the yolks of 2 eggs beaten smooth with a tablespoonful of lemon juice and a tablespoonful of melted butter. Pour the sauce over the fillets and serve. Sole à la Dépose. Butter a baking dish, sprinkle with chopped shallot, and lay upon it the fillets of 3 soles. Add half a wineglassful of white wine and 3 tablespoonfuls of mushroom liquor. Cook for 6 minutes. Take up and reduce the liquid half by rapid boiling. Add to it 1 cupful of Allemande sauce, a dozen cooked mussels or oysters, and half a dozen small cooked mushrooms. Take from the fire, add a tablespoonful of butter and the juice of half a lemon. Pour over the fish and serve. Fillets of sole à la Française. Fry the fillets with a chopped onion and a tablespoonful of chopped parsley in seasoned butter. Serve with Italian sauce. Fillets of sole à la Italienne. Arrange the prepared fillets in a buttered saucepan with salt, pepper, chopped onion, and half a cupful of white wine. Cook for 10 minutes and drain carefully, reserving the liquid. Add 4 tablespoons of chopped mushrooms and 2 cupfuls of Spanish sauce. Add a tablespoonful of butter, a teaspoonful of minced parsley, and the juice of half a lemon. Pour over the fish and serve. Fillets of sole à la Joinville. Season the prepared fillets with salt, pepper, and grated nutmeg, and put into a buttered baking pan with a tablespoonful of butter and half a cupful of white wine. Cover, cook for 10 minutes, and drain, reserving the liquid. Arrange on a serving dish and cover with cooked mushrooms, oysters, and lobster. Cook together 2 tablespoonfuls each of butter and flour. Add the fish gravy and 2 cupfuls of white stock and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Take from the fire, add the yolks of 4 eggs beaten with the juice of half a lemon, 2 tablespoonfuls of butter, a pinch of red pepper, and enough pounded lobster coral to tint. Pour the sauce over the fish and serve. Fillets of sole à la Joinville, Recipe 2. Butter a flat baking dish and arrange in it, crown-shaped, the prepared and cleaned fillets of 3 soles. Add half a wineglassful of white wine, 3 tablespoonfuls of mushroom liquor, and salt and pepper to season. Cook for 6 minutes. Take up the fish and put on a hot dish. Cover with Allemande sauce, garnish with broiled mushrooms, and serve. Sole à la maître d'hôtel. Simmer fillets of sole for 6 minutes in salted and acidulated water to cover. Drain and serve with maître d'hôtel sauce. Fillets of sole à la maître d'hôtel. Put the fillets into a buttered baking tin. Sprinkle with salt and lemon juice. Cover with buttered paper and cook in a hot oven for 6 minutes. Put the bones and trimmings of the fish into a saucepan with cold water to cover and simmer slowly. Cook together 1 tablespoonful of butter and 2 of flour. Add the strained fish stock and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Add 1/4 cupful of cream, reheat, take from the fire. Add a tablespoonful of minced parsley, a dash of lemon juice, and salt and pepper to season. Arrange the fillets on a hot platter, drain the liquid from the pan into the sauce, pour over the fish, and serve. Fillets of sole à la Marechal. Season the prepared fillets with salt, pepper, and lemon juice, and cover with a thin coating of bechamel sauce. Put on ice for an hour. Dip in crumbs, then in beaten egg, then in crumbs, and sauté in clarified butter. Drain and serve with bechamel sauce. Sole à la Normandie. Recipe 1. Make a stuffing of breadcrumbs, sweet herbs, oysters, mushrooms, truffles, and 1/4 pound of ham, all chopped very fine and mixed to a paste with stock. Stuff the fish with this. Sprinkle with lemon juice, dot with butter, sprinkle with crumbs, minced parsley, and salt and pepper to season. Add half a cupful of white stock and bake slowly, basting frequently and adding more stock if required. Sole à la Normandie, Recipe 2. Butter a baking dish and cover with sliced onions parboiled. Lay the sole upon them, seasoning with salt, pepper, grated nutmeg, and minced parsley. Add the juice of a lemon and white wine to cover. Bake in a slow oven, basting with the gravy and adding melted butter if necessary. Serve with a sauce made by adding half a cupful of cream to the gravy and thickening with a tablespoonful each of butter and flour cooked together. Sole à la Normandie, Recipe 3. Put the fillets from 3 soles in a buttered saucepan with half a wineglassful of white wine, 3 tablespoonfuls of mushroom liquor, and salt and pepper to season. Cover and cook for 6 minutes, drain, and arrange on a serving dish. Boil the gravy for 5 minutes, add a cupful of Allemande sauce, a dozen oysters, and 6 sliced mushrooms. Take from the fire, add a tablespoonful of butter and the juice of half a lemon. Pour over the fish and serve. Sole à la Normandie, Recipe 4. Butter a baking dish and put the fish into it with 2 dozen oysters, a dozen mussels, a chopped onion, a sprig each of thyme and parsley, a tablespoonful of butter, and salt and pepper to season. Add 1 cupful each of red wine and stock. Cover and cook until nearly done. Drain and keep warm. Lay the oysters and mussels over the sole. Add to the liquid enough stock to make the required quantity of sauce. Strain and thicken with flour cooked in butter. Take from the fire, add the beaten yolks of 2 eggs, pour over the fish, and serve. Fillets of sole à la Normandie. Put the fillets in a buttered saucepan with salt and pepper to season, a tablespoonful of butter, a chopped onion, and half a cupful of white wine. Cover and cook for 10 minutes, then take up the fish and drain carefully. Cook together without browning 2 tablespoonfuls each of butter and flour. Add the liquid drained from the pan and enough oyster liquor and white stock to make 3 cupfuls of sauce. Cook until thick, stirring constantly. Skim, take from the fire, and add the yolks of 4 eggs well beaten, 2 tablespoonfuls of butter in small bits, the juice of half a lemon, and a few cooked oysters, mussels, and scallops cut fine. Pour the sauce over and serve. Fillets of sole à la Orly. Marinate the prepared fillets for half an hour in lemon juice with pepper and salt to season. Put the trimmings of the fish into a saucepan with a bunch of sweet herbs and white wine to cover. Season with salt and pepper. Boil rapidly for 15 minutes and strain. Dredge the fillets with flour, fry in boiling fat, and serve the sauce separately. Fillets of sole à la Provence. Simmer the fillets in white wine to which a little olive oil has been added, seasoning with minced parsley and garlic, grated nutmeg, salt, and pepper. Drain, sprinkle with lemon juice, and serve with a border of fried onions. Fillets of sole à la Rouen. Put the prepared fillets into a buttered baking pan and squeeze lemon juice over them. Cover with buttered paper and bake. Cook together 1 tablespoonful each of butter and flour. Add 1 cupful of fish stock and half a cupful of cream and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Season with salt, paprika, and lemon juice. Pour over the fish and serve. Fillets of sole à la Trouville. Put the prepared fillets into a buttered pan with salt, pepper, grated nutmeg, half a cupful of white wine, and half a cupful of stock. Cover and cook quickly. Then drain the fish and keep warm. Put into the pan in which the fish was cooked 2 dozen large oysters, 2 cupfuls of scallops, and a dozen large mushrooms. Simmer slowly until cooked. Drain and cover the fish with them. Add stock if necessary to make the required quantity of sauce, and thicken with 2 tablespoonfuls each of butter and flour cooked together. Pour the sauce over, sprinkle with crumbs, dot with butter, and brown in the oven. Fillets of sole à la Vénitienne. Put the prepared fillets into a buttered pan with salt, pepper, nutmeg, a chopped onion, and half a cupful of white wine. Cover and cook for 10 minutes. Add 2 cupfuls of stock and thicken with a tablespoonful each of butter and flour cooked together. Take from the fire, add the yolks of 4 eggs beaten with the juice of half a lemon and 2 tablespoonfuls of butter. Pour the sauce over the fish, sprinkle with chopped parsley, and serve. Fillets of sole à la Vénitienne, Recipe 2. Simmer the fillets for 10 minutes in a saucepan with clarified butter, lemon juice, white pepper, and salt. Simmer other fillets without trimming in the same manner. Drain and cool. Cut the untrimmed fillets into dice, mix with thick Allemande sauce, grated Parmesan cheese, and salt, white pepper, and grated nutmeg to season. Spread this preparation very thinly on an earthen dish, and when it is cool, cut into pieces the size and shape of the fillets. Dip in crumbs, then in egg, then in crumbs. Fry in fat to cover. Warm the fillets and arrange in a circle alternately with the breaded ones. Serve with any prepared sauce. Sole au gratin, Recipe 1. Make a paste of breadcrumbs and chopped mushrooms, seasoning with pepper, salt, and minced parsley, and using cream for the liquid. Butter a serving dish, spread with a layer of the paste, lay the fish upon it, and pour over it a wineglassful of white wine and an equal quantity of veal or chicken stock. Cover with crumbs, dot with butter, and brown in the oven. Serve in the dish in which it was cooked. Sole au gratin, Recipe 2. Butter a baking pan, sprinkle with crumbs, chopped onion, and minced parsley. Season the fish with salt, pepper, and ginger, and stuff with whole oysters, shrimps, and mushroom. Cover with a layer of breadcrumbs, parsley, and butter. Add half a wineglassful of white wine and bake until done. Sole au gratin, Recipe 3. Put the prepared fish into a buttered baking dish, season with salt and pepper, sprinkle with minced parsley, add enough white wine to keep from burning, and bake. Take up carefully. Cover with Italian sauce, sprinkle thickly with crumbs, and brown in the oven. Sole au gratin, Recipe 4. Cook together in butter a chopped onion, half a dozen mushrooms, a tablespoonful of minced parsley, and a bean of garlic, with salt and pepper to season. Spread on the bottom of a buttered baking dish and lay the seasoned fillets upon it. Add half a wineglassful of white wine and bake for 5 minutes. Cover with fresh mushrooms, pour over a cupful of Spanish sauce, sprinkle with crumbs, dot with butter, and brown in the oven. Squeeze the juice of half a lemon over it and serve. Stewed soles with oyster sauce. Soak the fish for 2 hours in seasoned vinegar and simmer until done in salted and acidulated water. Serve with oyster sauce. Fillets of sole with anchovies. Fry the fillets in olive oil, seasoning with salt and pepper. Cool and cut into small pieces. Add 4 anchovies cut into small bits. Pour over a French dressing and serve with toasted crackers. Fillets of sole in cases. Fry in butter 1 cupful of chopped mushrooms, 2 tablespoonfuls of chopped onion, and 1 tablespoonful of minced parsley, seasoning with salt and pepper. Cut the soles in fillets, spread with the mixture, tie with a thread, put into a buttered pan, cover, and bake. Put each fillet into a small paper case, fill with cream sauce, lay a mushroom on top of each one, and serve. Fillets of sole with fine herbs. Prepare according to directions given for fillets of sole à la Joinville Recipe 2, adding to the sauce a chopped onion and 2 shallots browned in butter, with twice the quantity of chopped mushrooms and a bean of garlic. Season with salt, pepper, and minced parsley. Soles with fine herbs. Trim the fish and put into a buttered baking pan, sprinkling with chopped mushrooms, parsley, and grated onion. Season with salt, pepper, and grated nutmeg. Add enough white wine to keep from burning. Cover with buttered paper and bake. Take up the fish and add the drained liquid to a cupful of Allemande sauce and reheat. Take from the fire, add a tablespoonful of butter, the juice of half a lemon, and a teaspoonful of minced parsley. Pour over the fish and serve. Fillets of sole with mushrooms. Bake the fillets for 10 minutes and cool. Cook together 1 tablespoonful each of butter and flour. Add half a cupful of stock and half a cupful of cream. Cook until thick, stirring constantly. Add a pound of fresh mushrooms, chopped fine, and simmer until the mushrooms are cooked. Cool the mushroom mixture and spread upon the fillets. Set the baking pan into another of hot water, reheat in the oven, and serve with hollandaise sauce. Fillets of sole with oysters. Fry the fillets in butter and cover with Allemande sauce, to which chopped cooked oysters have been added. Fillets of sole with ravigote sauce. Fry the fillets in seasoned butter, adding a little lemon juice when done. Pour over ravigote sauce and serve. Fillets of sole in turbans. Put the bones and trimmings cut from the fillets of sole in cold water to cover. Simmer for half an hour, strain, and add a pinch of salt to the liquid. When it boils, put in the fillets rolled up and fastened with a toothpick. Simmer for 10 minutes and prepare a cream sauce, using for liquid half fish stock and half milk or cream. Pour over the fish and serve. Fillets of sole with wine. Butter a baking pan. Lay the fillets in it, season with salt and pepper, and spread with butter. Add half a cupful of white wine, cover with buttered paper, and bake for 5 or 10 minutes. Take up the fish carefully and add to the liquid a teaspoonful each of butter and flour cooked together. Take from the fire, add the yolk of 2 eggs, beaten smooth, with half a cupful of cream. Pour over the fish and serve. Rolled fillets of sole. Beat together until smooth 2 tablespoonfuls of anchovy paste, a teaspoonful of lemon juice, a pinch of mustard, a dash of cayenne, and 2 tablespoonfuls of fresh butter. Spread long, narrow fillets of sole with the butter, roll, and fasten with wooden toothpicks. Sprinkle with salt, pepper, and lemon juice, and bake, wrapping in buttered paper if desired. These fillets may be fried in butter with parsley and onions, or dipped in egg and crumbs and fried in deep fat, or cooked with wine and lemon juice and stock made from the bone and trimmings, and served with the strained stock thickened with butter and flour cooked together. Stuffed fillets of sole. Wind long, thin, narrow fillets of sole around small carrots to keep their shape, fastening with toothpicks. Simmer the trimmings of the fish for half an hour in 2 cupfuls of boiling water to cover, seasoning with salt and paprika. Cover the fillets with 1 cupful of the stock and half a cupful of white wine. Simmer for 20 minutes. Cook together 1 tablespoonful each of butter and flour, adding 1/2 cupful of fish stock, and cook until thick, stirring constantly. Take from the fire, add 1/2 cupful of chopped shrimps and 1/2 cupful of chopped oysters, the yolk of 1 egg well beaten, Worcestershire, salt, and Tabasco sauce to season. Take out the carrots and replace with the cooked mixture. Cool, dip the fillets in egg and crumbs, fry in deep fat, and serve with any preferred sauce. Chaudfroid of soles. Marinate the fillets of 3 soles in seasoned lemon juice. Chop half a dozen mushrooms and cook for 5 minutes in butter, seasoned with pepper and salt. Add enough breadcrumbs to make a smooth paste, cool, and spread on the fillets. Fold each piece of fish so that the stuffing will be in the middle. Arrange on a buttered baking dish, cook in a moderate oven, and cool. Cook together 1 tablespoonful each of butter and flour, and add 1 cupful of fish stock made from the bones and trimmings of the soles. Take from the fire, add a little cream, and stir until cold. Pour the sauce over the fillets, garnish with lemon, parsley, and hard-boiled eggs, and serve very cold. Fritters of sole. Rub 2 tablespoonfuls of butter into half a pound of flour, add a pinch of salt, the beaten yolk of an egg, and enough cold water to make a very stiff paste. Roll the paste very thin and cut into pieces large enough to wrap fillets of sole, which have been seasoned with pepper and salt and lemon juice. Fry in deep fat and serve with tartar sauce. End of section 35.